Hey everybody, I hope everyone's having a great day. I'm gonna read this book. I read chapter 1 and 2 already of this book, but we're on chapter 3. So get cozy in your bed and get your snacks and close your eyes. I'm gonna try to read a couple of chapters. Chapter 3. And this is Crenshaw. Chapter 3. After the Easter Bunny incident, my parents started to worry, except for my 2 days as mayor of Earth. I didn't seem to have much of an imagination. They thought maybe I was too grown up, too serious. My dad wondered if he could have read me more fairy tales. My mom wondered if she should have let me watch so many nature shows where animals eat each other. They asked my grandma for advice. They wanted to know if I was acting too adult for my age. She said not to worry, no matter how adult I seemed. She told them I would definitely grow out of it when I became a teenager. Chapter 4. A few hours after my Crenshaw sighting at the beach, he appeared again. No surfboard this time, no umbrella, no body either. Still, I knew he was there. It was about 6 in the evening. My sister Robin and I were playing cereal ball in the living room of our apartment. Cereal ball is a good trick for when you're hungry and there's nothing much to eat till morning. We invented it when our stomachs were grumbling to each other. Wow, I would love a piece of pepperoni pizza. My stomach would growl, and then hers would grumble. And yeah, maybe a cracker with peanut butter. Robin loves crackers. Cereal ball is easy to play. All you need are a few cereals or even a little piece of bread, all torn up. M&Ms would be good too. If your mom isn't around to say no sugar, but unless it's right after Halloween, you probably don't have any. In my family, those guys go really fast. First, you pick a target to throw at. A bowl or a cup works fine. Don't use a wastebasket because that might have germs. Sometimes I use Robin's T-ball cap, although that's probably pretty gross too. For a 5-year-old, that girl can really sweat. What do you throw one piece of cereal and try to make it in a basket? The rule is you can't eat that piece until you score. Make sure your target's far away or you'll finish your food too fast. The trick is that you take so long to hit the target, you forget about being hungry. For a while, anyway. I like to use Cheerios and Robin likes Frosted Flakes, but you can't be picky when the cupboard is bare. My mom says that sometimes. If you run out of cereal, your stomach's still growling, you can always try chewing a piece of gum to distract yourself. Stuck behind your ear is a good hiding place if you want to use your gum again. Even if your flavor is gone, your teeth get a workout. Crenshaw showed up. At least he seemed to show up while we were busy throwing my dad's brand cereal into Cabin's cap. It was my turn to throw, and I got a direct hit. When I went to take out the cereal piece, I found 4 purple jelly beans instead. I love purple jelly beans. I stared a long time at those things. Where did the jelly beans come from? I finally asked. Robin grabbed the cap. I started to pull it away, but then I changed my mind. Robin is small, but you don't want to mess with her. She bites. It's magic, she said. She They started dividing up the jelly beans. One for me, one for you, two for me. Seriously, Robin, stop kidding around. Where? Robin grabbed down 2 jelly beans. Shoo, she said. I figured it meant stop teasing me in candy mouth. Our big laborator mutt rushed over to check things out. No candy for you, Robin said. You are a dog, so you eat dog food, young lady. But Eartha didn't seem interested in the candy. She was sniffing the air, ears cocked towards the front door as if he had a guest approaching. Mom, I yelled, did you buy some jelly beans? Sure, she called back from the kitchen. There they are, to go with the caviar. I'm serious, I said, picking up my 2 pieces. Just eat Dad's cereal, Jackson. You'll poop for a week, she answered. A second later, she appeared in the doorway, a dish towel in her hand. Are you guys still hungry? She sighed. I got a little mac and cheese left over from dinner, and there's half an apple you could share. I'm fine, I said quickly. Back in the old days, when we always had food in our house. I would whine if we are out of favorite stuff, but lately we've been running out of everything, and had the feeling my parents felt lousy about it. We have jelly beans, Mom, Robin said. Well, okay then, as long as you're eating some things nutritious, said Mom. I get my paycheck at Rite Aid tomorrow. I'll stop by the grocery store and pick up some food after work. She gave a little nod, like she checked some things off a list, and went back to the kitchen. Are you going to eat your jelly beans? Robin asked me, twirling her yellow ponytail around her finger. Because if you want me to do the big favor, I guess I could eat them for you. I'm going to eat them, I said. Just not yet. Why not? They're purple. Your favorite. I need to think about them first. You're a weirdo brother, said Robin. I'm going to go to my room. Ethan wants to play chess up. I doubt that, I said. I held a jelly bean up to the light. It looked harmless enough. She especially likes hats and also socks. Robin said that she left with her dog. Don't you, baby? Ethra's tail wagged. She was always up for anything. But as she left with Robin, she glanced over her shoulder at the front window and whined. I went to the window and peered outside. I checked behind the couch. I flung upon the hall closet. Nothing, nobody. No surfing cats, no Crenshaw. I hadn't told anybody about what I've seen at the beach. Robin would just think I was messing with her. My mom and dad would do one of 2 things. Either they'll freak out or worry I was going crazy, or they'll think it was adorable that I was pretending to hang out with my old invisible friend. I sniffed the jelly bean. They smelled not quite rappy in a good way. They looked real. They felt real. And my real little sister had just eaten some. Rule number 1 for scientists is this. There's always a logical explanation for things. I just had to figure out what it was. Maybe the jelly beans weren't real, and I was just tired or sick. Delirious, even. I checked the forehead. Unfortunately, I did not seem to have a fever. Maybe I've gotten sunstroke at the beach. I wasn't exactly sure what sunstroke was, but it seemed like something that might have make you flying cats and magical jelly beans. Maybe I was asleep, stuck in the middle of a long, wired, totally annoying dream. Still, didn't the jelly bean in my head seem extremely real? Maybe I was hungry. Hungry can make you feel pretty weird, even pretty crazy. I had my first jelly bean slowly and carefully. If you take tiny bites, your food lasts longer. A voice in my head said, never take candy from strangers. But Robin had survived, and if there was a stranger involved, he was an invisible one. There had to be a logical explanation. But for now, the only thing I knew for sure was the purple jelly bean tasted way better than the brain cereal. We're on chapter 5. Let's keep going. The first time I met Crenshaw was about 3 years ago, right after first grade ended. It was early evening, and my family and I had parked at a rest stop off a highway. I was lying on the grass near a picnic table, gazing up in the stars, blinking to life. I hear a noise, a wheels of gravel skateboard sound. I set up my elbows. Sure enough, a skater on a board was threading his way through the parking lot. I could see right away that he was an unusual guy. He was black and white kitten, a big one, taller than me. His eyes were the sparkly color of morning grass. He was wearing a black and orange San Francisco Giants baseball cap. He hopped off his board and headed my way. He was standing on 2 legs like a human. Meow, he said. Meow, I said back because it seemed polite. He leaned close and sniffed my hair. Do you have any purple jelly beans? I jumped to my feet. It was his lucky day. I just happened to have 2 purple jelly beans in my jeans pocket. They were a little smushed, but we each ate one anyway. I told the cat my name was Jackson. He said, yes, of course it is. I asked him what his name was. He asked what I did and I wanted a name to be. It was a surprising question, but I had already figured out he was a surprising guy. I thought for a while I was a big decision. People care a lot about names. Finally, I said, Crenshaw would be a good name for a cat, I think. He didn't smile because cats don't smile, but I could tell he was pleased. Crenshaw it is, he said. We're on chapter 6. I don't know where I got the name Crenshaw. No one in my family has ever known a Crenshaw. We don't have any Crenshaw relatives or Crenshaw friends or Crenshaw teachers. I've never been to Crenshaw, Mississippi or Crenshaw, Pennsylvania or Crenshaw Boulevard in Los Angeles. I've never read a book about Crenshaw or seen a TV show with a Crenshaw in it. Somehow, Crenshaw just seemed right. Everybody in my family was named after somebody or something else. My dad was named after his grandpa. My mom was named after her aunt. My sister and I weren't even named after people. We were named after guitars. I was named after my dad's guitar. It was designed by a manufacturer called Jackson. My sister was named after the company that made my mom's guitar. My parents used to be musicians. Starving musicians is what my mom calls it. After I was born, they stopped being musicians and became normal people. Since they run out of instruments, my parents named our dog after a famous singer called Aretha Franklin. That was after Robin wanted to name her fairy princess Cutie Pie, and I wanted to call her dog. At least our middle names came from people and not instruments. Orson and Mary Bell were my dad's uncle and my mom's great-grandpa. Those folks are dead, so I don't know if they're good names or not. Dad says his uncle was a charming curmudgeon, which I think means grumpy with some niceness thrown in. Honestly, another middle name might have been better, a brand new one that wasn't already used up. Maybe that's why I like the name Crenshaw. It felt like a blank piece of paper before you draw on it. It was an anything is possible kind of name. On chapter 7, I don't exactly remember how I felt about Crenshaw that day we met. It was a long time ago. I don't remember lots of stuff about what happened when I was young. I don't remember being born or learning to walk. or wearing diapers, which is probably not something you want to remember anyway. Memory's weird. I remember getting lost at the grocery store when I was 4, but I don't remember getting found by my mom and dad, who were yelling and crying at the same time. I only know that part because they told me about it. I remember when my little sister first came home, but I didn't remember to put her in their box where to mail her back in the hospital. My parents enjoyed telling people that story. I'm not even sure why Crenshaw was a cat and not a dog or an alligator or a Triceratops Rex with 3 heads. When I try to remember the whole entire life, it feels like a Lego project where you're missing some of the important pieces, like a robot, mini fridge, or a monster truck wheel. You do the best you can put things together, but you don't know it's quite like the picture in the box. It seems like I should have thought to myself, wow, a cat is talking to me, and that is not something that usually happens at a highway rest stop. But all I remember thinking is how great it was to have a friend who liked purple jelly beans as much as I did. We're on chapter 8. A couple hours after my mysterious jelly bean appearance during cereal bowl, my mom gave Robin and me each a grocery bag. She said they were for our keepsakes. A bunch of our things were going to be sold at a yard sale on Sunday, except for important stuff like shoes and mattresses and a few dishes. My parents were hoping to make enough money to pay some back rent and maybe the water bill too. Robin asked, "What is a keepsake?" My mom said it's an object you treasure. Then she said things don't really matter as long as we have each other. I asked what were her keepsakes, and my dad said she's probably their guitars would be at the top of the list, and maybe books, because those were always important. Robin said she would bring her Lyle book for sure. My sister's favorite book in the world is House on Earth, 88th Street. It's about a crocodile named Lyle who lives with a family. Lyle likes to hang out in the bathtub and walk the dog. Robin knows every word of the book by heart. Later, at bedtime, my dad read the Lyle book to Robin. I took at the bedroom door and listened to him reading. He and my mom and Robin and Artha were all squished on the mattress. It was on the floor. The wooden parts were going to be sold. "Come join us, Jackson," my mom said. "There's lots of room." My dad is tall, and so is my mom, and Robin's mattress is teeny. There wasn't any room. "I'm good," I said, looking at my family all there together. I felt like a relative from out of town, like I belonged to them, but not as much as they belonged to each other. Partly that was because they looked so much alike, blonde and gray-eyed and cheerful. My hair and eyes are darker, and sometimes so is my mood. Emptied out, it didn't look like Robin's room anymore, except for the pink lamp and the marks on the wall that showed how much she had grown, and the red spot on the carpet where she spilled cranberry apple juice. Robin was practicing her t-ball batting. She got a little carried away. "Swish, swash, splash, splush," read my dad. "Not splush, Daddy," Robin said. "Smush, splish, swash." "Stop being silly," she said. She poked him in the chest. "It's swoosh, swoosh, I tell you." Okay. I hope you're asleep, guys, and I'll be finishing up tomorrow, reading more tomorrow. Good night.